Sigma males are often seen as the lone wolves of society. They don't follow the crowd, they don't chase attention, and they rarely feel the need to explain themselves. They live life on their own terms, and because of that, they often seem like they don't have many friends, or sometimes none at all. To most people, this looks strange. In a world where being social is seen as normal, Sigma males are different. They don't go to every event, they don't text back right away, and they don't build large groups of friends. But this isn't because they're rude or unfriendly. It's because of how they're wired. The truth is, Sigma males often struggle to connect with others, not because they can't, but because they don't want to fake it. They want real, honest connections, and that's hard to find. Most people don't understand their mindset. They think Sigma males are cold, distant, or even arrogant. But what they're seeing is simply someone who values peace over popularity. Because of this, Sigma males face a tough reality. They're misunderstood. They're often alone, even in a room full of people. And while they may be okay with that, it doesn't mean it's always easy. In this video, we're going to break down 6 harsh realities about why Sigma males often have no friends. These reasons are not meant to put them down, they're meant to show the truth behind the quiet, distant nature people often misjudge. Some of these reasons are based on personality. Others come from how the world treats people who don't play by its rules. If you're a Sigma male, this will help you understand why you often feel different and why you're not alone in that feeling. If you know a Sigma male, it might explain why getting close to him feels difficult, even if he cares deeply. Let's dive into the first reason. Reason 1. Preference for solitude. The first and most obvious reason Sigma males often have no friends is their deep preference for solitude. Unlike most people, they don't feel lonely when they're alone. In fact, being alone is when they feel most at peace. They enjoy their own space, their own thoughts, and their own freedom. And that naturally makes friendship a rare thing. While many people look for constant interaction to feel connected, Sigma males find that draining. They don't want to hang out just to pass the time. They don't enjoy forced conversations or social routines that feel empty. Instead, they prefer quiet, focused time, thinking, reading, building, creating, or simply recharging. This doesn't mean Sigma males hate people. It just means they're very selective about who they allow into their world. Being around others takes energy, and they protect their energy carefully. So unless a connection is deep, honest, and truly meaningful, they'd rather be alone. To others, this choice looks strange or even sad. People may ask, "Why don't you go out more?" Or, "Why are you always by yourself?" But what they don't understand is that Sigma males aren't avoiding people out of fear. They're choosing solitude out of strength. They've learned that time alone is often more valuable than time spent with the wrong people. This preference also makes it hard for Sigma males to form traditional friendships. Most friendships are built through casual hangouts, group events, or small talk. But Sigma males don't enjoy any of that. They don't want to talk just to fill space. They want conversations with meaning. And because that kind of connection is rare, so are their friendships. The downside is that this way of living can make Sigma males feel isolated, even when it's their choice. They might want connection but struggle to find anyone who respects their space and understands their need for silence. So they go without friends, not because they can't make them, but because they refuse to lower their standards just to fit in. In the end, solitude isn't a weakness for Sigma males. It's their natural state. But it does come with a price. They may be more at peace, more in control, and more focused, but they often walk alone. Reason 2. Nonconformity to social norms. Sigma males don't follow the rules that most people live by. They don't care about trends, social rankings, or fitting into a group. They live by their own code, and that makes them stand out. But not always in a good way. Their refusal to conform is one of the main reasons they often end up without friends. In today's world, people are expected to act a certain way, dress a certain way, think a certain way. Most people don't even notice they're doing it. They just follow along. It helps them feel accepted. It helps them belong. But Sigma males don't need that, and they don't want it. They question everything. Why should I act this way? Who made that rule? What do I really believe? This kind of thinking makes them hard to understand for people who've spent their whole life trying to fit in. When someone doesn't care about social approval, others see them as strange or even threatening. This disconnect creates a wall. People may keep their distance, not because the Sigma male is unfriendly, but because he doesn't follow the unspoken rules of the group. He won't fake interest. He won't laugh just to fit in. He won't do something just because everyone else is doing it. That level of honesty and independence can make others uncomfortable. Friendships often grow through shared behavior. Going to the same places, acting the same way, talking about the same things. But when a Sigma male doesn't join in, people start to feel like he doesn't belong. Some will ignore him. Others might even judge him. Over time, the Sigma male realizes he's on a completely different path, and that path has fewer people on it. What's worse, some people try to pressure him into conforming. They give advice he never asked for. They tell him to loosen up or be more social. But all that does is push him further away. He sees it as a sign that people want him to be someone he's not. So he keeps his distance, not out of pride but out of self-respect. He would rather be alone than pretend to be someone else just to be accepted. And because of that choice, he often walks through life with fewer friends, but a stronger sense of self. The harsh truth is this: being true to yourself in a world full of followers often means standing alone, and Sigma males are willing to accept that. Reason 3. Selective social engagement. Sigma males don't talk to everyone, and that's not by accident. They are extremely selective about who they spend time with. To them, energy is valuable and they don't give it away freely. This selectiveness is another major reason why Sigma males often end up with few or no friends. Most people are open to casual friendships. They meet someone, share a few laughs, and suddenly they're friends. But Sigma males don't work that way. They want something deeper. They want conversations with purpose, relationships built on respect, and time spent with people who bring real value. If they don't feel that, they won't pretend. This means they say no to a lot of things. They skip parties. They ignore invitations. They don't keep in touch with people just out of habit. If a connection doesn't feel real, they'd rather not waste time on it. That can make them look cold or distant to others, but from the Sigma male's perspective, it's just being honest. This selectiveness also makes it harder for people to get close. The Sigma male doesn't open up right away. He watches. He listens. He pays attention to how people act, not just what they say. And until he's sure someone is trustworthy, he keeps his guard up. That slow pace makes most casual friendships fade before they even begin. Another issue is that Sigma males don't chase anyone. If someone stops talking to them, they won't ask why. If someone walks away, they let them. They don't play games and they don't try to win people over. That kind of self-respect often gets misunderstood as a lack of interest. But in reality, it just means they only invest where it truly matters. Because of all this, Sigma males usually only have 1 or 2 close relationships, if any. They might go months without speaking to anyone outside of work or daily life. And they're fine with that. They're not lonely. They're just waiting for something meaningful. Until then, they focus on themselves, their goals, and their peace. It's not that they don't want friends. It's that they'd rather have no friends than fake ones. And that choice, while powerful, can make life feel quiet and at times isolating. But for a Sigma male, quality always wins over quantity. And if that means walking alone most of the time, they accept that as the price of living truthfully. Reason 4. Misunderstood independence. Sigma males are deeply independent. They don't need help to make decisions. They don't rely on others to feel complete, and they are perfectly fine doing things on their own. While this independence is a strength, it often gets misunderstood. And that misunderstanding is another reason why they usually have no friends. Most people are used to friendships that involve constant communication. They expect texts, calls, updates, and regular meetups. They see closeness as something you prove by always being around. But a Sigma male doesn't think that way. He can go days or weeks without talking to someone and still care about them. To him, space doesn't mean distance, it means respect. But not everyone sees it that way. When a Sigma male doesn't reach out often, people start to assume things. They think he doesn't care, that he's selfish, that he's emotionally closed off. And when people feel ignored, they either walk away or start treating him coldly in return. The friendship breaks, not because of a fight, but because of a difference in how connection is expressed. This is a harsh truth for Sigma males. They're not trying to push people away. They just value their freedom. They like having control over their time. They like being able to think clearly, move freely, and not feel tied down by constant social obligations. But that freedom often costs them relationships with people who need more attention than they're willing to give. Another part of the problem is that Sigma males rarely explain themselves. They don't offer long speeches about why they need space. They don't try to make others feel better about how they live. They assume people will either understand or they won't. But many people take the silence personally and end up walking away before ever really understanding who the Sigma male is. This independence also means that Sigma males don't ask for help unless they truly need it. And even then they'll try to figure it out themselves first. Friends might feel unneeded or unimportant because they're never called on. But to the Sigma male, doing things alone is just normal. It doesn't mean others don't matter, it means he trusts himself first. Sadly, this self-reliance is often misread as coldness or pride. And so the Sigma male loses potential friendships, not through conflict, but through misunderstanding. He chooses independence every time, and in doing so, he often ends up walking his path alone. Reason 5. Prioritization of personal goals. Sigma males are deeply focused on their own goals. Whether it's building a career, mastering a skill, or working on personal growth, they take their path seriously. Their time, energy, and attention are all directed toward becoming better, stronger, and more self-sufficient. And while that focus helps them succeed, it often leaves little room for friendship. Most friendships are built on shared time, grabbing a meal, chatting after work, or hanging out just to hang out. But Sigma males don't live that way. They're not interested in doing things just to pass time. If they have free hours, they'd rather use them to work on something important. That mindset often makes others feel left out. It's not that Sigma males don't like people. It's that they don't see socializing as productive unless it's meaningful. So when they're faced with a choice, pursue a goal or go to a party, they'll choose the goal almost every time. That constant choice slowly builds distance between them and others. Over time, this focus creates a lifestyle that doesn't allow for casual friendship. The Sigma male's schedule is tight. His priorities are clear. He's not ignoring people on purpose. He's just chasing something that matters more to him. And unless someone truly supports or aligns with his vision, he sees no reason to split his attention. This kind of dedication can be hard for others to accept. Friends may feel like they're being pushed aside. They may say things like, "You're too busy for anyone," or "You care more about work than people." And while those comments may hurt, the Sigma male doesn't change course. He knows what he's working toward, and he refuses to slow down for people who don't understand it. The result? Most friendships fade. People drift away because they don't feel important. But from the Sigma male's view, he's just doing what he believes is right, building the life he wants on his own terms. There's also the fact that Sigma males don't chase external validation. They're not working hard to impress anyone. They're working hard because it gives them purpose. That deep internal drive keeps them focused, but also isolated. So, while others are bonding over shared distractions, the Sigma male is deep in his mission. It's lonely sometimes, but to him the cost of greatness is worth it, even if it means walking the road alone. Reason 6. Discomfort with group dynamics. One of the biggest reasons Sigma males often have no friends is because they don't feel comfortable in group settings. While many people enjoy being part of a group, going to parties or joining in group chats, Sigma males find those situations awkward, draining, or even pointless. They don't hate people, but they hate pretending. And in group dynamics, pretending happens a lot. People show off. They compete for attention. They follow group behavior even when it doesn't make sense. To a Sigma male, this feels fake. He sees through the performance and wants no part in it. Sigma males prefer real one-on-one connections. In small, quiet settings, they can be thoughtful, open, and even warm. But put them in a loud, crowded environment with shallow talk, and they shut down. They feel like outsiders, not because they're being excluded, but because they simply don't relate to how the group is acting. This discomfort makes it hard for them to build friendships the usual way. A lot of relationships begin in group settings, at school, work, social events, or parties. But the Sigma male often avoids these places. And when he does show up, he tends to stay quiet, hang back, or leave early. People might assume he's not interested, or that he's unfriendly. But the truth is, he just doesn't like forced interactions. Even in work teams or social circles, Sigma males often operate best alone. They'll help when needed, but they don't enjoy the constant back and forth that groups rely on. They prefer clarity and purpose. If there's too much talking and not enough doing, they lose interest quickly. What's worse is that their quiet nature is often misunderstood in group settings. Others may think they're being arrogant, antisocial, or cold. But the Sigma male isn't trying to prove anything, he's just being himself. And when being himself doesn't fit in, he leaves. Over time, this pattern builds. The Sigma male stops attending group events. He stops responding to invites, not out of anger, but out of peace. He realizes that being around too many people drains him, so he chooses to step back and protect his energy. And because so many friendships are born in group spaces, the Sigma male misses out, not because he can't connect, but because the setting doesn't fit his nature. For the Sigma male, deep connection matters, but it's hard to find in groups. So he walks alone, not because he wants to be alone, but because he refuses to pretend just to be included. Sigma males often walk alone, but not because they're broken, cold, or unfriendly. They walk alone because the world they live in doesn't match the way they think. Their need for solitude, their nonconformity, their high standards, and their deep focus make friendship difficult in a world built on constant socializing and surface-level connection. These 6 harsh realities aren't excuses, they're truths. Sigma males don't avoid friendship because they're afraid. They avoid it because most friendships aren't built to last. Most people want attention, comfort, and constant validation. Sigma males want peace, truth, and real connection. That difference pushes them away from the crowd. And yet, despite the loneliness that sometimes comes with this path, Sigma males stay true to themselves. They value depth over popularity, silence over noise, and freedom over fitting in. And while that might cost them friendships, it gives them something far more important: clarity, purpose, and peace. If you're a Sigma male, know that your way of life isn't wrong, it's just rare. And if you know a Sigma male, understand that his distance isn't rejection, it's protection. Because when a Sigma male finally lets someone in, it's real.